Welcome to Deplorable and also Hide. Hide. Let's see here. Do we have anything? To the color. Oh, that's calling everyone out. Oh, hi, everybody. Let me get my backup sure that we've got sound. Let's see here. Sound check. Sound check. Got some neat stuff today. Um. Oh, sound check. Yay! Sound is good. Sound is good. Sound is good. Now, first thing, I know I've got it titled out um, Antarctica, but I've noticed this thing on TikTok that has been floating around about the $2 bill. And I'm like, I really hate it when they put stuff on there they found and they want you to find it yourself. Well, I have problems with that. It's like, get the information out there and let's talk about it, trying to figure out what they're trying to see. When I went in and I looked at images, which I haven't gone into the Library of Congress, which is looking at the $2 bill, and they're all, look at the $2. What's different about this? What do you see in this picture? Well, I'm going to pull it up, what I found so far. De-dum. Okay. So what? Wait a minute. Hold on. What I found was share screen. No, back of the $2 bill. Okay. So let's look at this. All right. The $2 bill, right? Okay. So I'm watching it load. Make sure that we can all see this. Click on photo. Come on. Click on the photo. Okay, well, I guess it's bigger. Let me get bigger here. Hold on. Oh, I see what I have to do. Okay, let's see. Let's remove that. Top screen, share screen. I think I've pulled up 3 of them, so I should have enough. Reverse, there we go. All right, so what we have here is the image of the $2 bill, the back of a $2 bill. Make sure that we get it. Okay, now as you can see, the guy sitting in the chair. Okay, see the guy sitting in the chair. You see the view of the whole thing. Everybody, and there's one guy in there that's wearing a hat, which is, I don't know what's up with that, but that's a serious thing. Yeah. So, what brought my attention is everybody's like, "Oh, look at this! What do you see in this picture?" Well, the only thing that I saw in this picture is behind this guy sitting in the chair, right here. I would say that these guys are a focal point in art. Focal point is where they want you to look. This is a focal point. Um, this guy, something's going on here. He's the guy that writes this thing. But this right here, I want you to look at the chair that the main guy is sitting in. And on the back of the chair, I have gone in and looked at it. And to be honest with you, what I see looks like either things, and both are bad. In some ways, some people would think that that is good, but I don't. AI is good, so I'm not there. So either this is something I can't explain, and like I said, I'm getting ready to go and look for those images because I want to see the original image that they took to use for this image on the back of the $2 bill. And if this thing that's on the back of this guy or on the back of this chair or whatever the heck it is, I want to see it pretty because what it looks like to me is a wind-up key. Like if you ever Chitty Bang Bang, which I really hate bringing movies into everything that I talk about in every single video, but I cannot begin to tell you something, some element of something in just about every movie that we can apply to the end times. So if you watch Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and you've seen the key that they put in the dolls to wind up the dolls, just like it. Okay? And I was just told by my friend it also looks like a dagger. It could be a dagger. Like just at a weird view, weird angle. Or it could be something else, and we just don't know what it is. But I'm telling you, this out of all of this image, what the hell is that? What the hell is that? Um, yeah, I think it's time. Let me see. Hold on. That's fine though. So let me see. I need to have the. I'm not even going to do it because it won't be funny now. Video clip. I'm going to have to download it and copy it and put it in my repertoire. But there's this and Steve Martin on Saturday Night Live where they're like these two tourists that encounter each other when they're looking at this. The hell is that? Oh, what the hell is that? The hell is that? I don't know what that is. What is that? What the? But it would have taken long, and I've overkilled the comedy in it. Never mind. See my face looking at behind me? Spooky. Spooky? No, I'm just kidding. It's not spooky. It's just an aluminum sculpture. I'm trying to get all my artwork together so I can put some artwork out there in the art world. Now, we're finally getting into where I've been spending so much time. And it's fun in the past 2 years, like I have in the past prior 4 years before the 2 years. So out of the 6 year core investigative researching in Antarctica and the surrounding areas, and the fact that the people that I follow that have found even more information as biblically sound as where I am. So I mean, I know that they're way far ahead and everything like that, but I know what I know, and I know stuff that God seemed to seem it was okay. Hello, Red Sonia. How's it going tonight? There. I'm on a very sketchy Wi-Fi connection. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I just pray that that it can chat up because I got some cool stuff. I just was messing around before I got on because I was like dealing with the $2 bill thing. I'm like, oh my god, look at this. But I was under the ocean looking around. They say it's an open ocean, but yeah, I'm not going there right now. But anyway, so I found these stairs, 3,000 feet tall, wide. There was like 6 or 7, and they all are at the top, and the sculpture is 5,000 feet tall. That's the kind of stuff that I find all the time while searching Google Earth Pro, either under the ocean, in Greenland, in China, in America, which is, all of them are just fantastical creatures. I mean, if I tried to draw them, I can't even begin to tell you the China dragon. And even looking at that one from a different perspective, the globe view of it, it kind of gives you a more of a 3D version of it. So it into a 3D aspect versus a 2D aspect, which I find very interesting. But weird because the China dragon has these enormous horns. I mean, they're enormous. They got these whiskers, and this fluty mouth. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like flappy, lots of skin around the mouth, and then and that's the China dragon. And then the East Coast, that one is more like a snake, like the North American Indian lore is the one that's in the water. That's okay, the snake with the feathers underwater. Have you guys seen that? Let me see if I can find that real quick. Let's see. It's very interesting. Some ladies like burn it or like run away fast world. Um, Feathered snakes. Otter snakes. Oh, oh. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so let me bring this up. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Get past the stupid commercials. You know what? I'm so tired of the alien bullshit. They're not aliens. Okay, stop. Present. Share screen. Share screen. Share screen. Bizarre snake with green fur or feathers. Okay. Where?
A mystery furry green snake was found floating in a swamp in.
A mystery furry green snake was found floating in a swamp in. A mystery furry green snake was found floating in a swamp in. A mystery furry green snake was found floating in a swamp in. A mystery furry green snake was found floating in a swamp in. A mystery furry green snake was found floating in a swamp in. A mystery furry green snake was found floating in a swamp in. A mystery furry green snake was found floating in a swamp in. A mystery furry green snake was found floating in a swamp in. A mystery furry green snake was found floating in a swamp in. A mystery furry green snake was found floating in a swamp in. A mystery furry green snake was found floating in a swamp in. A mystery furry green snake was found floating in a swamp in. A mystery furry green snake was found floating in a swamp in. A mystery furry green snake was found floating in a swamp in. A mystery furry green snake was found floating in a swamp in. A mystery f
Let's just do that so I don't get dinged. You can, if I could see it, I'd read it. The bizarre 2 foot long creature had a frilly body, a puff faced water snake, and had a moss growing on its body. Moss? I don't moss. Seriously? Moss? Come on. Anyways, so I'll show you. Um, Here, I'll just take you there now. Well, here's the stairs up to the sculpture that I found under the ocean. Right here. And I think you can see it. Let's see. Uh, okay. Now I see it on D-Live. Okay. So here are the stairs. Let me go in a little closer. Let's see. And here we are. They blur it again. So more than likely these stairs, go wherever. But I notice things like this because I've seen it so much already. I can find them super easy. It's just super easy to find now. Stairs are the easiest because I've seen them on top of land and under the ocean. So here we have a set of stairs. And let's actually go this way. I want to look at some. The shadows represent something different, but this still looks like a sculpture here. Because when I was looking at it, I see the steps leading up to a sculpture, and the sculpture has a hand out. Like it's almost like the monkey sculpture of India, possibly. Where are we? Are we? We are. But can you not see that? Like a turban type hat on. The hand is outstretched. Got the right shoulder's over here. Can you guys even see my hand? Little hand thing? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Well, thank God. Um, but now that I'm looking at this, the shadows are wrong. Okay. Um, the shadows should be facing down because the sunlight is coming from above. So looking at this, but this is also interesting because now I see another pathway next to this. There's still stairs, but here, okay, so here now these stairs lead up to an opening. You see that black hole right there? Anytime you see shit like that when you're looking in this stuff, that's an opening into whatever you're looking at, into the ground, in the mountain, into whatever. That is an opening. Okay? So let's take a look at and see how big this opening actually is. About 3,500 feet wide. 3,500 feet wide and 1,600 high is that opening. And then let's look at the length. So we're going to take that and go to at least one edge point. So 2,500 feet in. So you have the opening that's that big, and the hangar area or the area of where you walk into goes for 2,500 feet because that whole flat top there, that is the entirety of it. And the reason that I know this is because I've seen so many buildings, and when you look at buildings on top of land and you measure them and you see them, and you also see windows with lights on above ground. Then when you're looking below the water line and you see buildings with windows and lights on, that shit gets real. And I'm not even kidding you about that. I've seen smoke, Antarctica coming out of ancient cities. Like people are living there. Okay. Um, it, there is so much going on in Antarctica. They have the staff people are in Antarctica, which is complete bullshit. Okay, once you realize Antarctica encircles us, it's the continent that surrounds us. It is a continent, but it's an ice wall that keeps in where we are. Well, they keep us in where we are. We don't know if we can get past. We don't know they won't let us past. So we don't know if there's anything past it or not. There could be. Be. We don't know. We don't know. They know. And maybe that's what we're the leaked stuff with the maps, outside of our circle. There's just so much coming. It's really hard to keep up. And just watching the sky, like me and my roommate were talking about, she's like texting me, "Hey, did you see the moon? Why is it way north?" And I'm like, I went outside, I couldn't even see it because it was so far north. It was like on the other side of the booklet. I don't even know where it was. Couldn't even see it. But and people were talking about that on TikTok and other places and stuff like that. But anyways, getting back to the stair thing. These let me go over here. It it's super important to understand that you are a thinking human being. You have a brain and you, on the most part, know how to use it. That working human beings have an imagination. We're created in the image of God. We're created like God. So I would think that we would have some abilities of, being a thinking creature to be able to think ourselves. And hello, Paula, welcome. Way in and out of things, to that's just we're humans. That's what we do. But I just don't get why all the secrets. Well, I just want to refute God, and they don't want us to believe in God, and that there's more to it than all that. You know, that is the only thing I could think of. Other, I, if they have access to get the hell out of here, why would you be here? Nothing on the other side of the wall, because if they have access to the other side of the wall, why would the hell would they stay here? Except to us of our life, liberty, and happiness and money. But that, to me, if there was something better on the other side, you know what I'm saying? If God has opened up and this is our world, and they've created this enslavement camp of an area here, we don't know that. We don't know what's going on. We just don't. And we trust God. And I thank God for the revelations that He gives me and inductive reasoning so that I can put two and two together to get four. I don't need the government to tell me how to think. I don't need the doctor to tell me if I'm sick or not. And I don't need the doctor to tell me what can make me well. But I do need the doctor for some things. And it's like, this is where we've given power to people that don't deserve at all. They deserve zero power. And doctors is when I went to a doctor's appointment yesterday. I'm struggling. Um, a bus fare, that's a chunk out of my wallet. So I got all the way out there, walked in the building. It's a mass required building. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? You guys are still living the C-19 bull. So tired. So I called my doctor at that moment and I told them, remove me from your list. I am no longer using you. Find somebody that isn't playing this bullshit game and I will go there because I'm not doing this anymore. Anyway, and I'm not even in Antarctica yet. This is just on the bottom of the ocean in the middle of the Pacific. Well, over by Mexico. Yeah, and it's like, stuff like in Brazil, there's giant snails creating beautiful landscaping. Oh, here's a big city. Can you guys see that? Let's see. Let's move here. That's a really big city that's been blurred out. Anytime that you have like squares, I mean, look at that. That's almost like, let's see how big that opening is. I mean, it looks like a state cap. That's 26 or 25,000 feet wide. No, sorry. Yeah, yeah, 25,000 feet wide. And let's see how tall it is. Shadows tell you a lot. 12,000. Holy moly. I had a discussion with my architect friend, and I great to have her because she'll just go like, I'll like, okay, well, that's 12,583 feet. Okay, how many stories is that, Pamela? And she goes, that is, blah, 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 blah. And then she tells me, I'm like, oh my God, you're amazing. But she'll like, click it out really fast and tell me what it is. That's why I like having B. Thanks for popping in and saying hi. I know this is a weird hour for everybody. Everybody's going to bed. Okay, so yeah, so the blurred, and this is interesting too because they have this thing above. Everything is symbolic, and there's lots of carvings and lots of things going on. But that's a super big silly. But I was looking for the giant snail designs. We'll have to come back to that. You guys will like that. Okay, so let's go down to Antarctica. Okay, so know this. Before we get into Antarctica, if you haven't watched Florida Marquis and you're interested in Antarctica, he's a good person to follow. Even though he doesn't believe in flat Earth, he still has great information. But what I want to hear that's very important is this particular landmass from the tip of Antarctica, what they profess to be, and South America, those used to be a landmass that people could cross. And it also created weather in Antarctica, which is the ice wall, that was tropical. Okay, well, interesting. Interesting. I'll have to think about that because the classification map of the giants, if I'm not mistaken, should no, I believe it's an outer area as well. They make it seem like a continent by itself when you look at the old ancient maps, but now thinking about it, okay, that makes sense. We'll have to go in and look. But these two, you could walk across, and Antarctica, before it was an ice wall, was a tropical, was so. I just wonder if the sun wasn't closer Think about that one. Interesting. Okay, so anyways, so and whatever God did to change that to stop, um, well, I think it was actually that's their the giants, the giant that must I'm thinking it that must be the giants' kingdom is the ice wall and beyond the ice wall. They can bridge the ice wall, but we can't because we're puny humans. So I'm thinking that for whatever reason during the giant, I still haven't found out enough information on to have enough to talk about on that. But they did exist. So, and I know they did exist because of what I see that's laying and mummified in, and I'll show you that stuff when I get there. And this is coming up in, this is the perfect time to start talking. November is summer there. So the ice is melting and the snow is melting. So it reveals a lot more of what's going on. So this is looking at Antarctica over the next couple months. Um, Great time, perfect time, summertime. And this is when all the people are around it looking at it, like from Australia, the trips from Australia, they're like doing a flyby in the air they encapsulate. Because, like I explained in my other video, if you look down upon our world and you took the star as a center point, and then you took pie pieces and went from that center point and took pie pieces out from each country, and then took it out past the ice wall. That area of influence from that country is where they would have control of in Antarctica, which is the ice wall, which encircles us, which would entail their area. If that, like, let me show you. I mean, I'm sure I'm being fairly clear, but once you see it, it just really makes more sense. Because that would basically be what? Um, like north would be center north. Okay, so this is how you get to a different screen here. So this would be like the center of our world. And then wherever we fit on our map, if we took that confluence and this is the ice wall, then our area of influence would be right here. So if right in this area, like from the center out, and then Australia would be right here, where they would be allowed to fly the front of the ice wall. They wouldn't be able to fly over here because that would be China. I'm not looking at it, and I'm not a brainiac when it comes to that crap. But this is Australia, so whatever continent is on the on ease of influence. So they can Australia would be this pie piece, and they can fly within the zone of the ice, but they couldn't fly into here. They would be turned away because this is the other country's area of influence. And their duality, all of it around, they're all working together. They all have their own military. Say that under the treaty they're not policed in Antarctica. They're policed. Trust me. Trust me. So they talk about Antarctica. So think about if the Antarctica was a continent. Okay. Make any sense at all. Because once I show you the shadows and how, if you have Antarctica and brought it around. The shadows and the pointing shadows that I show on my map of shadows in Antarctica show that this that way in each area of influence for each part of Antarctica that Florida Marquis didn't get. He didn't get it. He doesn't understand about the flat earth part. Okay. This is the control. This is how they keep the control because each area has its own government to report to. So, this in itself, this would be, I would say this would be NASA/Disney because it's reality. And I'm going to show you some things through this series of, spending some time in Antarctica and looking at manipulating things to make you believe shit that you shouldn't believe. Because I know shit and gaming since they started. I've had my hands on a keyboard. I've been on the computer. And I know what templates are. And if any of you know anything about documents, you have a basic template to work off of, and then you can add things to it. Right? Okay. Google Earth. Google Earth is a data graphic platform, photography added to it. That's it. And different time frames. Synopsis of how they gather and have basically the satellites that they send up into space are not in space, held up by balloons, weather balloons, and they're taking pictures with digital cameras. We have quantum computers now, so more than likely they've got the quantum computers on the satellites. Okay, so I'm like, whatever. They cannot be hacked by humans, and they can be controlled by non-humans. Anyways, getting back as a gamer, I can play a game. I've played enough games how you travel through a game, you move through a game, a certain encounter, you have geology, biology, everything that you encounter when you're a person that evaluates things in life that way, you see it. So what I see when I play games is I will play a game and I will see another game in the game I'm playing. The graphics are the same. The templates are the same. The graphics have changed. You have a certain directional path that goes a certain way up and down and around a certain way and are built up a certain way that you just know. It's like it's happened more than 100 times, so I know that it's not a deja vu. I know that they're using templates. And then I go into what they do. They use those templates because it saves a lot of time and money for graphic artists when you with animation. Okay. I know this. Been there, done that. I used to work before computers. I was the computer taking pictures, move it. Okay. I know all that shit. But when it comes to the templates, movies use it a lot too, especially like Disney. Disney does use it a lot, and you can notice in Sleeping Beauty and things like that, where all they've done is change the digital graph and maybe the rock makeup, but it's all the same template. When they use anything that's digital, they're going to stick with a template because it's cheaper and it's more effective. And like if you're doing a writer, you know what an outline is. Same concept. Okay. So let me pull this better. There we go. Now, this up here, there's a bar up here at the top. You can, put your pins down. I've got a lot. You can see over here to the left. Um, if you notice here, let me bring me up big again. Okay. Now, let's bring this up big. There we go. Okay. Over here, where it says places, and it says shadow direction A, direction C. Those are the shadows that I found here that are all facing in different directions. We can talk. But so I have pins on things, and this is the pin section. So when we get ready to go look at stuff, then we can go there. This just has things that you can, do other things. You can add pass, you can add tours, you can record for a tour. Now this particular one with the clock on it, this one has from previous digital or whatever cameras that they had. I'm thinking that more than likely that was their beginning of the digital when they started Google Earth and got these satellites up in the air and started recording. So when you look at this, okay, so here we are in, so that's like right now, and see it already shows it a little bit different. Actually, that's 2020. Okay. So see all these markers, these lines up here? Those are all timestamps, photographs that they've taken at that time. So let's just pop in this one. Oh, so they've had shit. Now, the other thing that's really interesting, if you look here, June of 1975. Okay. So what I'm assuming is they either had the satellites or they was to video record or data record back then. They had the capability. So let's go back even further. Wow, look at that. 1969. Now I wouldn't and don't you think that's odd since Google Earth? Yeah. Okay. So here we are in 1969. Okay. So let's go to the next December 1965. December 1963. Shit, this stuff's older than me now. 1961. Oh. 1957. Let's see. Is that the last one? Let's see. The last one. Yeah, that's the last one. So now, okay. This is a perfect example I was trying to explain about the template. Now, as we went in, do you see the circle to the bottom left of the screen? See the circle? Okay. See it? I'm waiting for my little hand move over there. Come on, little hand. And if as I pan out, you'll notice is the circle, okay? But you'll also notice, like here, there's some faint black circles, lines. Can you see those? See those? They kind of disappear. There's some too. You can see the wheel. See the wheel? See it moving around? That's the template. Okay? That is the template. See it moving around with the lines in the center? Okay? Which I find interesting because if you go to the exact other side of the planet, the way that they record it, that circle is in Greenland. And I would pretty much tell you that more than likely that circle is the solar plexus, the North Star. I haven't done the research, but I can probably pretty much guarantee you that's where it's going to end up. Okay, swing back to the templates. I just want you guys to keep some things in the back of your mind when you're thinking about what you're looking at here. Okay, so if Antarctica is the ice wall and it's not the continent that they portray it to be like this in one space, and if it opened up, then this would be like the furthest point, the center here, or this part of Antarctica would be the furthest south that you could go on our map. Okay, so if opened up that Antarctica and made that ice ring around our world, then that center ring would be the outer ring of our world. So when you go, we'll get out of that. When you go and you take that information, and you can also kind of see how they've, like this, I don't know if you can see, yeah. See how it shaded out areas and circle in the center. And then you see this building looking thing over here to the left. These are things that clicking in your mind to keep information on it, because that's all did. And you can see the pinpoint prick of the center of the circle now. Okay? See it? And it's all lines you're pointing at center. This is a big mountain ranger. Now, what I do, and this is what I want people to understand, that they're lying to us about this stuff and about the globe thing. Because if you take that same thing, now let's go. So here, see the little planet up at the top? Switch between Earth, sky, and other planets. Okay? So when you choose, let's go look at the moon. Okay? So now we're going to go to the moon. Loading the moon. Oh, look at that circle. Do you see that circle? Do you see that? Took us right down that. And here's the circle on the top. Okay? These are things to remember. Okay? I don't, this is, yeah. When they start naming stuff, if you look at the thing about Antarctica, if you notice the islands that surround Antarctica are the variants of the C-19 stuff, it's so ridiculous at this point. All I see them doing is laughing at us. All they do is laugh at us because they know what we don't know. And it's like, yeah, it just irritates the crap out of me. And craters, Meteorites and craters, that's bullshit. And let me tell you why. Um, when a meteor hits the ground, it doesn't bounce out, whether in the earth or it's on the moon or whatever. They don't just disappear. Okay. Nothing. It just, they try to make sense. And this is an odd building right here. Come on. Seriously. Come on. Those are stairs. That's a building. Things that you've looked at long enough. Now let's go to the other side. They've got so much shit marked on this. But what's funny is you'll go in and you'll look at these marks and they all look like places on Earth because it's all the same map. It's exactly the same. And see, here we go in here again. And if you get close to this one, it looks like a city that you're like going into. See? It's some weird shit. I mean, they're lying to us about a lot. And I can't wait until it's all disclosed. But see, that's another thing. It's like, we're going to find out some truths, but we're going to find out all of them because that would eliminate the Great Deception. And that's coming. We haven't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten there yet. Um, if, if the moon is plasma, see, now this is another thing that doesn't make sense to me. These all look like openings, like door openings, like domes with door openings. As a matter of fact, I know they are. But guess, you know what? I just had an epiphany. What if the moon, these maps are the maps that the elite use to show where they have access on Earth to their secret locations? Because this looks way, and I know that they're not anybody there because we didn't go to the moon. That whole thing doesn't exist. But when we look at stuff and use the shadows, like flat tops like that, things don't make sense, folks. They just don't. And these are people I would like to research because more than likely, huh, look at that one, Goldschmidt. Gosh, I wonder where that person is. That's interesting. That's super interesting to see that they've got so much named. Okay, so that they're using a template, but they're using digital photography that they've taken of the moon and what all these pot marks are. I don't know, other than us shooting missiles at it, and that's what it looks like. Well, thinking about it, I just had another epiphany. Um, have you seen? Let me see if I can find that real quick. There is a there is a graphic. Um, cartoon from a long time ago that, yeah, here it is. You guys are going to freak out. You guys are going to frickin' freak out. Let me stop screen. Now, we know about Operation Fishbowl, right? You guys know about Operation Fishbowl, right? You need to learn about Operation Fishbowl. I'm not going to tell you. It's stuff that's common knowledge now. It should be. You ready? Oh, I think I need to go to the other one. One more. Come on. Okay. So there you go. And look at all the other marks. Hello? You think we're not shooting? That's Operation Fishbowl. So if we know that they were shooting missiles dome, they shot missiles at the frickin' moon too. Okay? Come on, people, put it together. Inductive reasoning. Um, that is just blows my mind. The stuff that just keeps coming up and coming up. Okay. So, okay, so, and I'm thinking that, okay, so all this over here, to me, must be all bullshit because what we see is this and this only are these dark mass spaces and stuff. This is what we see. Because from what I understand, it's like an ellipse. An ellipse. It's more like a flat disc than it is a globe. So the globe's out. Take the globe off the shelf and figure out what you're looking at from there. Okay. And then, like, here's a serious one right here. Let's see what the name of that one is. Tycho. So interesting, the names that they put on this crap. I just wonder though if these aren't secret society locations that they're using, and this is their map for our world. This is the map that they go to figure out where they are. Got to be somewhere or whatever. And why are they in red? -16. Let's go look. Landed 1970. How can you take a core sample of plasma? It says here, Luna 16 was the first robotic probe to land on the moon. It's funny that I picked this one. Out of all that shit, this is the one I find. Luna 16 was the first robotic probe to land on the moon and return a sample to Earth, and the first spacecraft to make a night landing. It's not in space, it's in our atmosphere. It successfully returned a 101 gram core, which, do you know how much that would be? Sample of the lunar regolith via a sample return capsule. Excuse me, but I think that's bullshit. Let's see what this pulls up. We're waiting. Ah, They even have it with a backdrop. Oh, that's hilarious. That's probably the same one they used when they professed the land. No, well, if it's plasma, it's not going to act like dirt. So if it's plasma and not dirt, but they want us to think it's dirt. But these are mounds. These are not craters. These are mounds. They have flat tops. Okay, so I'm done with that. Okay, so let's move over to, no, I show light and dark. Okay. So let's move over to Mars and I'll show you the same um, template. See, it's showing it again. See it? There's it again. There it is again. Same template, graphic template. You see that? See that? And one thing about Mars that people are not talking about. See, all they did was they used the moon, they used the Earth, and then they added an overlay of the moon, and then put a filter on it, and then that's how they made Mars. Welcome to Mars. And here we are at the top. Yeah. Okay, so we're on Mars and they got little people trail. Why do they have little people? I think it's so funny. Let's go take a tour. Let's take a trip. And if you look at this, if you look at this photo right here, that's wave patterns on the ocean floor. That's all that is. I've seen enough of it. I know exactly what that is. That's waves and that's water. Sorry, you guys don't fool me. So yeah, so here we are with the same template, and it goes same. Let's go to the other side. The same. There we go. See, all the same. And if I'm not mistaken, more than likely, all these names will be in the exact same spots as what's on the moon. I guarantee you, it will all be the same. But you know, they think that we're all really, really dumb, and this is what um, when they're showing things like the thing that caught my and that told me it was all bullshit was when I was looking at a photograph that they were pushing on NASA of the landscape of Mars, and off in the distance I saw a car axle. So, yeah, you're not fooling me. Oh, sounds like Lucy's home. I mean, seriously, look at that. And I just wonder what that is on Earth. I really wish I were access to like some whiteboards because I could tear some stuff up. Okay, so let's get out of there. So that's what I wanted to show you about Google Earth and the templates, the graphic templates that they use. And that's how they're trying to fool, making us believe, um, making us believe things that they want us to believe. But the thing that I'd like to is And I've talked about this on. Oh, gotta let the cat in. Hold on just 1 second. Hi there. Okay. I need a sip of coffee. I hope that's not a bug. Okay, that coffee's done. I cover that up. Hold on 1 second. Okay, Antarctica. Now I will show you something real quick that I found very interesting. Was part of the firmament, and that the groundwork is very interesting on some of this stuff, and the fact that you can breathe, Milo, breathe. Sometimes I get so excited I forget to breathe. And sometimes it's hot flash too. Okay, so I'm going to show you parts of the firmament that I find is very interesting that they capture digitally, or it's building that they've done underground, which we know that they do. So, excuse me, I'm having an issue right now. Either this is God made or man made. Either way, it's notable. Okay, so sorry. Oh, I don't have anything listed because I get tired of looking at the borders and stupid stuff like that. But I'm going to put some stuff on here because you can get an idea of where we are. What? When I find shit like this, it's really. What? Okay, so this is what cracks me up about how they mess around with the numbers. We have an obvious hotel here in Antarctica. Okay, floating, be it may. These are still people that are here year round operating a hotel. Add that to the 2,000 for the entirety of Antarctica above ground. That's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. I'm telling you guys. I mean, seriously. Okay, I'm still live on all platforms. Okay, just checking. Sometimes you never know. So and like I said, I don't spend a lot of time looking at this photography stuff because that's not what I'm looking for. It's not what I'm looking for. I know that we have shit there and that things exist. I don't need to know what everybody else knows about. I want to look at what they don't know about, what they don't look at, what they don't see. Okay, so if you look here around this particular inlet, there's all these, look at that, all this building structure, obvious digital or building because it has shadows. Okay, and once again, we're at a place in Antarctica that gets the shadows. Oh, there's your doorway. See that door right there? That gets the shadows or doorways. I don't know what they are, one or the other. Shadowed doorways, inlets, garages, whatever the hell they are. that the sun is shining this way, this way, this way. Okay? Towards the center of that area, right? Okay. So look at all this stuff around Antarctica. Look at all this. Look at all this. What? What the heck? I wonder if everybody's access. Yeah, this is interesting. If people on the general have access to this stuff, you could go in and put your own location to a secret location and name it anything that you want, and then give a link to it to everybody that they could go and find it. Hello? I wonder if that's how. I'm sorry, I'm looking at stuff, I see things, and I have to go look because I see things like this. What is it? How should we look at it? Well, we have to realize that the sun is shining on this part, so let's look at it this way. So, is that a what? And then I see things like this that look like people. This is this just it just blows my mind, all the stuff that they're hiding from us. It just does, you guys. It's frustrating, but I'm glad that I have a thinking that I can go and look at things for myself. Let's see. See, look at they're even using words like your empress. See, look at this one. This one's talking about Mars, the black dunes on Mars. Where would you go? There you are. The last place mark in the folder below has the weirdest terrain feature all that I've seen in the Martian GE imagery. And this is something to remember, folks. Anytime that you see a word imagery, that's made up. Um, or they've taken a lot of other things and brought it in to make up something. That's like an imagery board. You know, you're cutting photographs out of multiple magazines to put them together on a poster board. That's imagery. Oh, I just really, and remember what I said with both all the maps being all the same on the same? They're all, I mean, this is basically we could go to Mars and find the same thing. And it's talking about what you're looking at, probably with the photograph there, unique replicated dune patterns, blah, blah, blah. In Iran, blank spot. There's just lots of stuff, you guys. It just amazes me what God went to the lengths to sense. Now, what I'm wondering is now the question that I have is now I'll do that another time. Okay, so now let's go in and look. So now we know the templates. Know the templates are. Okay, so there's no either. The templates are what they are. Okay, so now let's go in. Let me go ahead and show you the. Let me show you the. Where are they? Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. Okay, highlighting all the shadow paths that I found in Antarctica. See how they're all going different? Okay. This is what I mean by why haven't everybody else figured this out? Like Florida Marquis, why haven't you figured this out? Because if we're looking at, the sun, and even that doesn't make sense if you think about it. Okay? Because even with their theory of the globe, that still doesn't make sense. There is no way that makes sense whatsoever. So, just by the shadows in themselves, we can tell that Antarctica is not the continent that they say that it is, just because of the shadows of the sun. If the sun moves around us the way that it moves around us, this makes no sense whatsoever and is a complete lie, just because of that reason in itself. So that's something to think about. Now, I realize there had so many freaking places. These places, why is it taking so long? You need to go out. Hi, buddy. You want to come up here? Everybody see you? Here. Come here. Up, up, up. Come on up. Come on. Come on. Come on up here. Up. Come on. There we go. There's Boots McFluffy Butch. She has a fluffy butt. Come right here. Come here. Come here. Everybody can see your face. There you go. Here, look. Look. Look up here. Say hi, everybody. It's got water all over my face because I just practically swim in it. It's so furry. You can take a quick. Love you very much. He's part of the Pet Stew crew. We have the Pet Stew crew. Okay, you ready? All right. Okay, come on. Come on. Let's go. Here, we're knocking stuff over. Give me 1 second, guys. Here, look at this. Let me pull that up so you can kind of look at it and see how many listings. Now, those are all the listings that they have of all the things that are above ground. You're on your own. Okay, he's being he didn't go out, so I don't know what's up with that. So now he's gonna bug me at the door, but I don't care. Okay, so let's go back here. Now, I think I'm going to take, just so you can get an idea, there's a lot to look at there if one chooses to spend a little bit of time. Now we can take those paths off. So I got my point across. Things are not always as they seem. Okay. Let's. There's a lot of things in, actually. Yeah, I think I'll leave those until we. Where is Starfort and Sea, Skull and Eyes, Stairs, and what's on top? Stairs up to the sculpture. Pyramid Valley. Buildings in the shadow. Subship. Well, that's under what? Freezer rings. Look at a gray. Looks like a gray. Let's see where that one. Oops. Elevator shaft. What the hell is that? Fox Head entrance. Let's look at that one. Where are we going? I don't want to go there. These are the kind of things that I find that one cannot explain. It's like this. I have a better photograph or a better rendition of this, and it seems like the things that I put tags on when I go back, they've blurred them out for me since I looked at them last, and it really ticks me off. It's almost like I don't want to put anything on there so they don't blur it out because they've done it every time. But that's an obvious sculpture or mud fossil or whatever. It looks like a freaking teddy bear or a fox. Okay, back to Antarctica. Where are we? Greenland? Yeah. Huh. And this is another place. And they have, there's just, there, it's finally clearing. And I haven't even spent any time in Greenland yet, even underwater. I've spent most of it over here on this side. So there's a lot more for me to find. I'll go in here and look. But that isn't what I want to look at. I want to show you the bodies, the giant dragon people and stuff like that. Because it's a world there. They lived and existed there. And the dead bodies are still there. Now that's very interesting. Hmm. Think about that. That could be a. Yeah, I'm not even going to go there. But what is that? Water? See what I mean by the melt? How much melting? Well, what's interesting is when I first started researching here, I found a stair path alongside of a mountain, and I followed this stair path, and it wasn't like giants or anything like that. But what it was, I ascended on these stairs. I noticed that it had um, it had sculptures of dragon heads along this, like how they put like the president's heads, if they're like putting like the busts, it's like a bust. And I just wonder, oh, that's so interesting. Um, they had them like set up on each pedestal as you go up the stairs. Um, and I didn't mark it, and I would really that again. It was so interesting. I'm like, that really made me start looking at um, the dragon, all skin right here. You could tell that's skin. Geology is biology, and these are buildings. There's also something I want to point out here. For whatever reason, I like to look up folklore and specific stories into the giants, because what I think I've devised from what I've found in Antarctica and the way that they build things in Antarctica is that the giants are, look out a far distance and you cannot see, it's all blurry. Whatever that's called, far-sighted, nearsighted, whatever that is, giants have, because they can't see cities in the shadows. They can't see in the shadows. So in Antarctica, if it's a giants, the humans would be, or the lesser giants, they would be living in the shade because the giants were man eaters. They were cannibals. I notice this in everywhere that there are giant artifacts, like bodies and stuff, even the dragons and stuff like that. I mean, obviously you couldn't hide from them, but the giants in themselves are definitely either far-sighted or nearsighted, because that ific um, clue about all of the buildings, almost all, like the castles and stuff like that, they must have been giants, because they're like up on hills and stuff like that. And you can see the parapets and stuff. I've found everything. I found portals here. I've found stargates. I've found incredibly huge, I don't know if they're carvings or if they're mud fossil, um, metal ships. I believe they're alien. Okay, so it's just ancient technology that was before us, um, for the times. I'm thinking now that, also bringing up that the hieroglyphics, uh, uh, the hieroglyphics of the transhuman wearing the watches, the things that look like watches, those are watches. That's what they are. People are like, those are, and they're carrying the purses. I haven't figured that one, battery or something. I don't know. I don't know exactly what that is yet. But the reason I came to that conclusion, not only just obvious, I mean, it's on their wrist. If we're taking, it's, well, nothing is new under the sun. Nothing is new under the sun. Okay, if you look at those, that pattern on that wristband on those transhumans, they are flower petals, and the flower petals of a clock, 12 and 6, 3 and 9, and the ones in between, just like a, okay. Um, so keep that in mind. There's a lot of stuff, but keep in mind that, I'm learning about giants in a way that I'm an empathetic person. So I tend to put myself in a position of putting myself in that person's position or perspective, whatever. And this particular one here, thing that blows me away are the obvious non-paths. Some of them have obvious paths, but on the most part, most do not. Tells me also is they have underground access from all places to all places, because there's a few places that have like the new outposts. They have like um, the little things that they take from one place. Like you go up a hill to go skiing, and you sit in a little box. It's not so cold. Well, they have those in Antarctica too, here in bases and so forth. But that's definitely, that even looks like a face right there, like a, that even looks like a bust. Let's see how big that is. This is something that gets interested in looking at things. That head is 19 feet tall. that bug is 35 feet tall. That's really interesting. I mean, seriously. Is that not? And it's like, yes, I understand that they put a scientific name to how we look at things and see faces and things. I get that part. But I also know that scientists are full of shit now and that they bullshit names on things that they want to tell us that we're crazy with when we're not crazy, that we know what we are seeing, and don't tell us that you're putting a name to it and tell us we have a psychosis. Thank you very much. No, no. I don't listen to psychology, I don't listen to doctors, and I definitely don't listen to people that have gone to universities. There's another head. Um, and all because the doctors make a pledge to Apollo when they get to the medical field. So, sorry, but if you swear that and you're a believer in God, you just your um, ability to be a godsend. You just gave your power away. That you're um, a Christian if you've given that oath to Apollo. So these are folks on who you have touching your body and taking samples from your body and what they're doing with those and who actually has access. They have bio containment things to, get rid of things. But if you look online and you see how much advertise in taking women's tampons and pads for blood rituals in the satanic world, this is all stuff that you can find online. I have found all easily through Wikipedia. Everything that I've talked about, except the giants and the farsightedness. I think it's far. Yeah. Totally, they can't see in the shade at all. So, building a city or a house or a building, very likely why they did in the shadows. Another thing to keep in mind when I'm showing you things here, you'll notice the color changes. Like right down here, up here, a little bit over here, right here, like here. I believe that must be foliage. What the hell is going on right here? This is like a conglomerate of sculptures or something. But see what I mean by that's an obvious building. Obvious. Rock cylinders. That looks like a that looks like trailers connecting a train or a ship or is that a sphinx? What the hell? That has an opening in the front, just like that from the other side. And it's yeah. Then we have to look at it that way. This is what I mean. It's like you have to look at things well because you can't see. This is a platform. This is an opening. I'm going to have to mark this. That could possibly be a sphinx. Okay, say. That's so weird. Or just a building or something. Because it looks like a train almost. And then it goes off into. Interesting. Okay, let's just take a gander here. Since everything is melted right here, it's nice to be able to see ground. So this is an opportunity that I don't always get. So you're going to get a little researching with me today. And there are things that do not make sense, like that. You have to get a scope of the complexity. Okay, this is strange. This is a face. This is a head right here. This is the giant titan right here. Head. There's because there, like I've said it in 100 other videos that I've done. Well, I haven't done 100 videos, but you know what I'm saying. There are certain aspects of the human anatomy or animal anatomy. You spend hours and hours drawing, especially when you go to school. You spend hours and hours drawing things. The human figure, whatever. The eye placement is a certain distance from the nose a certain distance from the mouth for humans. Okay. So with that in mind, when you're still searching these things and you're finding monsters, you facial recognition, body recognition, body parts, necks, arms, legs, hips, backs, eye sockets, the whole thing. You see skulls in different forms of um, decomposure, or it decomposed completely and is a skeleton mud fossil, or if it's a body mud fossil. You know, you have a skeleton, you can have one or the other in different areas or in the same areas, just under different circumstances. Okay. Okay, getting back to this guy, let me go bigger here. Okay, so let me show you. This is the mouth right here. Okay, this is the nose. There's the right eye and the left eye, the right cheek, the left cheek. Okay, all this could be hair, more than likely, hair and skin. Okay, this right here, let's take a look at that. That is the arm, because here it comes out into the fingers. Here we are again with placement. Thumb, finger, finger, finger. Do you see what I'm saying? Or claw, whatever the hell it is. Okay. So this one is a very interesting. I've never seen this one before. This is a new find for me. But that is a definite face. That is a definite being. And now this could be from the mud flood, from creation. I don't know. I'm not God. These are just things that I know, that I see, that I can definitely tell you that through hundreds of hours of drawing, like this is like a huge chin right here, is what it seems to me. Big mouth, nose, eyes, forehead, all this hair. So I'm thinking it's a lady. Wouldn't be surprised if we found, is there a child? That might be a child that she's got. So this possibly is a mudding. See the child? See the child? Right there? See the child. So their arm, which a lot of the death pose of these creatures, including animals, birds, fish, they have a certain death pose that they're encapsulated in. And it varies. I mean, there's lots of difference, but there's a lot the same, exactly the same. Um, like, you know, if they were in the mud flood side, you would have a side view of that mud fossil. If they were face first, and that bottom mud fossil would be so distorted from all the flesh and everything seeping down to the lowest point. Up on the top would be like a decimated corpse skull that would have sunk into its bottom. So you wouldn't really be able to tell. But if the face was flipped up, like this one, bottom, if you saw it underneath, would be all of everything that's, sank to the bottom and all the trace minerals. Now, getting back to the trace minerals I was talking about yesterday, in giants, if in our bodies, it wouldn't produce enough to do anything with. But if there are people that were on the on this level of a pin or smaller, the minerals in our body of the gold would be to them. Of course, it would have to be, much smaller. We're talking like it would have to be, you know, that small of in our bodies to do what we do with the gold. Is kind of what I'm trying to say. So if you take, okay, let me go back over here. You take this body. Now let's look at the size of this, okay? Now, this could be a titan, this could just be a giant, but we're going to find out, okay? So let's go from the forehead to the chin. That's 6,661 feet. Okay, so that's 1.26 miles. So I would say that's a titan, okay? Because it exceeds the size of the cubits of the giants described in the Bible. Okay, so that's where titans exceed the size of giants. Okay, so that is 1.5 miles long, and one eye socket is, let's look at feet, 1,000 feet. Let's see how many yards that is. That's a half a football field, right? Or yards? No, that's how many? That's like 500. 100, 3 football. There's 50 and 50, right? So 100. So that would be 3 football fields for one arm, right? So let's look at the nose and the bridge of the nose. I mean, come on, people. Seriously. Especially you artists out there. Let's see how 1,000-foot long nose. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Yeah. Yeah. So, well, seriously. So here we are. We have a Titan. Okay. So think about this. Now we talked about the gold and the traces of gold. Now, if we have a Titan that has trace minerals of gold, I'll do, because that's where we get the gold from. It's not made in the earth. It's from giants. Okay. So more than likely, they have dug under here and have found the gold from this Titan. And I wonder if that's a turban, because material does show up in mud fossils. If material shows up, because I have a flower mud fossil. I wonder if this could be a family. Definitely. Okay, and yeah, this is here. I have a spot I'll show you in a little bit of, I think it's like dragon. It's pretty cool. But see here, we have some buildings. We have some rooftops here. We have some obvious buildings here. More than likely, they're like this. Just can't see it because it's in the shadows. Obvious windows up here. Obvious terrace and windows, and that's definitely columns. There's a building there, and there's a building there. So there's a lot going on this little spot here too, and this is comes down. Or is that the foot? That could be. Okay, that's the kid's arm or leg. Here, yep, 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 yep. There's the kid. Here's the kid's arm. Right here. There's the fingers. Amazing. Amazing, you guys. Great find today. Great find. Send us around. Okay, that's our first little look in Antarctica. There's a lot to see, folks. Everybody should be looking because everybody will find things. It's odd. Don't you think that's odd? Look at that. Look at that. Let's see here. Now, this could be water, but there's obvious buildings right here. There's a building there. Obvious building right there. A lot of the buildings also are hidden with camouflage of white. Now here's it might be a pyramid. It's got a corner here, and it's got the slope here. It's definitely something. Yeah, I think that is a pyramid. As a matter of fact, I know it is. Look at that. I know it is now. Look at the shadow. That's a pyramid, folks. Let me see if that pops up on anything here. Where's that? That just put me. Here we go. Okay, it does not have a listing. Okay, so that is definitely a pyramid. Look at that. I found my, well, that's not my first one. I found more. So let's go here. Mermaid one. And okay, so look at this. Okay, it looks like there's a sculpture right there. And it looks like it might be a Shiva, maybe? Not sure about that. Could be totally wrong, but I'm more right than I'm wrong. But that's definitely, look at that. Those look like bay doors. And that's what's so nice about Florida Marquis watching his stuff is I have a really crappy computer. The clarity of what you see on my computer versus his computer are completely different. That's what's that I like watching is because he has all those things that he can use on his that clears that stuff up because it look there's a lot going on right here on this platform. There's a lot of activity going on here, and there's also something right in here. There's another little building here, and another building here, and then there's a big building here. So we've got a lot of this pyramid. But as you can see, there's no roads per se that lead in or lead out. So this is why I automatically, from the beginning of looking at this stuff, think that they've been underground. And they lie about, and this is an obvious path. Look at that. That's an odd. And there's another building. This is probably a city, an ancient city. And this here, that should like scream to you, to everybody. That looks like a building inside of a pool. What we're seeing is the city and then the smoke from whatever they have going on there. So lots of things to think about, lots of things to realize. Everything. I don't believe anything or anybody that is in authority or in the position of authority because oh here this looks like a lion's face right here. Let's take a look. There's that little up lip on the nose and then the nose. But that has like characteristics of a cat. But if you notice, everything that I'm looking at doesn't have any new outposts. Doesn't have any outposts at all here in this portion, which I find interesting. Now, see here, this is interesting because they're with clouds, but the clouds aren't on this side. Something is in the water here they don't want us to see. Found a lot of things in the water. It's very interesting. And then you have things like, perfect circles, perfect cylindrical things, perfect rectangular things. And there's a face in that one. That. See the skull in that one? Two eyes, two eyes. Some crazy shit, man. It's like an eye. And underwater, I've even seen like things that look like giants looking out of windows. Now that is odd. Let me show you what I mean. If you look at this area, you have one area. That would not, like, see these over here? That is tower of 3 because the snow has settled on the top. So weird. They try to hide it. We're just getting way too smart and observant. Okay, so yeah, that was a great find. Finding a pyramid. That looks promising. Going down into this one. Like there's buildings in here. Yep. Any type of water source living near. And you can also see places that they're pushing blood up out because the water's all red and they're saying it's algae, but it's not. Okay, let me see if we can find one of the bodies. Well, now you have an idea of what I've been. Oh, here's a plaque here. Mount Ito. It's a flat top mountain, which means it's probably a tree. Southeast end of maps there taken from Japanese and Arctic Research Expedition, 1957. Interesting. Ice Glacier. I don't care. I don't care. Okay, so that's just a little tiny tip of the iceberg. There's a big building. You can see it trying to clear up here. Remember what I said about the wickedness and the giants? See how the shadow falls here? That looks like dragon skin. Sometimes the further I get out, the more I see. Like this could possibly be a being monster. The claw hand. The claw! The claw! Okay, let's see, where are we? Let's go over here. Areas that I know a crab is. It's out here. Where are we here? Maybe it's not quite thought out enough yet. Huh. It's so funny too because they do areas that have nothing, and they take pictures, or you have access to take that. They don't want you to take pictures of things that can be seen. Now, here's a definite opening. Come on, unblur. One. Here we go. Another pyramid. Okay, but we're in my area now. Sculpture. Look. Okay, let's see. Where is Pyramid Valley? Four-sided pyramid. Let's. Antarctica though. That's what I need to go back and put all my Antarctica. Long skull neck. Here we go. Okay, here's one of my finds. All right. Now, back to the human or monster anatomy. Let's see here. This wasn't the one I was thinking of. Huh. I'm trying to go in that way. Oh. Oh. Yeah, okay. Why is it doing that? I hate when it tries to do stuff on itself. Let me find this other one. Hold on. Naked dragon. City. Oh, there's the snails and the patterns. Giant head creature. Huge city in Antarctica. Okay, this is the one. This is a monster head on a human. Okay, this dragon or snake head. And you can tell by the nose how this is set up and the jaw. This is definitely not a human head. Okay? But you notice here the back of the skull is like a human skull. Okay, the neck is like the back of a. Okay, I don't know what all this stuff is. Part of the dragon, whatever the hell it is. Whatever. Oh, should have known. There's another freaking pyramid. Holy cow! I should have known that. There's two pyramids in one sitting. Two. And the trace minerals of gold is huge. And if we know what's due. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff going on. the hell is all that? Answer me that, you guys. What is all that? What is all that? Looks bad. I need to get that video clip. It would so fit right now. And those are obvious paths. But the wind blows. Okay. See the arm? Let me back it. Horizontal view. Okay. Right shoulder. There's down to the hip. Okay. I don't know what this creature is, but the way that I'm seeing this here, this is the tail, this is a leg, and this is a leg coming down here. You can kind of see here. That looks like, you know what? I find, is that another pyramid? I think it is. Real? And another one? Now that is odd. Oh, if that's a mama and that's a baby, well, that makes sense. Yes, yes, baby, adult. What the hell, y'all? Okay, so this first humanoid creature is the one that I found. Obvious arm, right arm. You can see the leg coming out and the tail going out and the other leg coming down. Now we know there's a pyramid here in the groin area. I find kind of funny. We'll call it the groin pyramid. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Okay. Over here. Get back up here. All right. Okay. So we're going to say that. Okay. So now that brings into perspective a giant mama of the same thing species. Okay, that's really cool, you guys, because I just did not even. I thought it might have been another monster. Could have been the mama or the daddy or whatever. Those look like stairs for some reason. But what I found is that these bodies all over the earth, they're using them to um, build into, and I'm assuming it's because they know the gold's in there, which I find very interesting. Okay, so now we've got a mama, which I was not expecting to find. Parent giant. Now let's move up into this other creature, which is in the Library of Congress. This creature here, see the tail here, the back. Can't see the head so much. I'm thinking that might be a beaky looking thing. There's the leg. But I've found drawings in the Library of Congress that match that. So that's another reason why I know mythology is our history. Oh, there's another pyramid. Anytime you got that triangle shadow, holy cow, people, we're not dumb. And it's got sides. What is that? It looks like up to the pyramid. That's interesting. It could be a being of something, a creature. I'm going to put a question mark there. Possible. And if they're there as much as Florida Marquis says that they're there, and they're in America as we are finding out now, then by all means, yeah, I see it totally being all over. So that's a creepy creature, but that's on the list of creatures. Oh, there we go. Okay, this looks like a parapet. What is this? Sometimes you can tell they're lookouts. That was a castle, but they're completely blurring it. Like there's like the main castle. Then here's the up to the castle. Up that looks like another pyramid. Cross hatch, force. That's a big clue. There's a lot of these out here. Yeah, too. What the hell is going on? Why are we finding so many pyramids now on here? But I just believe that there underground stuff going on here. That's how they lie to us because they're talking about what's. It's like feigning like half the information. They're giving half the information. Now that's a trail. That's an obvious trail, y'all. Look at that. Where's it going? To the pyramid? Where's it going, y'all? Right to the pyramid. Right to the pyramid. Right to the city. There it goes up. You take that long trek along the mountainside, and here's the castle at the top. Mofo! Look at that. Now, what's this? And where does it go? Over here, folks. Lots of light right here. What the heck? I don't see. It looks like it goes over there. I bet it goes underground. That's another look. Let's look and see how big it is. Feet. 35. That's a story. That's a block. It's almost a block. Let me see something here. Hmm. What the hell is that? Is that a plane? No, that can't be a plane. That's 35 feet. And it's obviously a shadow. And we have a flat space below. Let me look at it from a different angle. Wow. That's lit up. That's a. They try to hide stuff from us. But if you notice, in a way, it's blurred. But if you also coming off of the city is reflecting off of the snow. This is not sunlight. And this is not sunlight. Look at this, you guys. This is not sunlight. This is sunlight, where you see the shadows. This is sunlight with shadows. This is city light shining off of a city into the surrounding area. There's a big wall right here. Now, what that tells me is this could be an airport. Let's see here. Because it's so lit up, let's look here. Because if they're blurring, which we know they're blurring, that is a frickin'. You know what? It's so lit up you can't see it. That's why you can't see it. So let's look at how long this light path is. And I would say that it's long enough to be a runway. Half a mile? Quarter of a mile? Quarter of a mile. Quarter of a mile. Quarter of a mile. Quarter of a mile. Let's think about this. Okay. So the sun is shining this way. That's a pyramid. Sun is shining this way. No. Okay. All right. Here we go. This is what I mean by it's all bullshit. I'll show you why. Okay. We have two shadows here on each side of the mountain. How is that possible? Explain to me how that's possible. The way that that is possible is that there is another exterior light shining brighter than the sun to make a shadow darker than the shadow from the sun. Does that make sense? Seriously, folks. Now, here again, that tells me life is there. This is amazing that they've somehow hidden whatever they've hidden is right here. And I bet you it's a air strip. I want to put that here. Possible. There's so much light. Okay, so very, very interesting. Now we're going to go off. Oh, there's the other one. Okay, so let's put a marker here. And the wind blows, the sun shines, and the city lights. Okay. Entrance. Between Antarctica. Oops. Okay, save. How long are we? Okay, I need to end this. This is going on too long. All right, folks. Start looking. Say that there is so much information, and here's another lead off, and it's going somewhere else. And this is ice here. Something's up, and now we have some listings here. Grove Mountains, Truman Nuntak. What's this one? Wilson Ridge. And to me, if it says a ridge, they're looking at us. They're up there viewing stuff. And a ridge, the body part. And another thing you can look for too is along these ridges and edges and shadows, you can see buildings, but if you look at the shadows, you like on this part here, on some things, you can see the obvious building layout outlines. Obvious. I mean, it's just super obvious. Okay, so there is my there is my dip into Antarctica. This is the reason is because they're spending more time there looking. I wanted to show you the dragons, but I'll show you that tomorrow night. This went on way too long, but it's informative, and there's just so much more. There's just so much more, folks, and we're finding it out really fast. And I'm curious if there's anything on the other side. I don't think there is, because I believe God created this area for us. You know, it's tied around Jerusalem, but who's to say that this whole area isn't Jerusalem and that whole area is the outer world? I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out pretty soon. We'll find out pretty soon. So I love you guys, and God bless everyone. And again, if you need to contact me or need some prayer, shoot me an email at thedancingdeployable@yahoo.com. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for spending some time with me, and have a great night. And it's midnight now, so it's tomorrow. So welcome to tomorrow, today. Yay! Take care, everyone. I got lots more to share. Take care. See you next time.